Okay, everybody, it is still me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Wednesday, September 29th, 2021. Bunch of things that are going on right now. Let's start off with this market here. A very volatile day in stocks, up and down and every other which way you could think about. We finished mixed here. A fractional gain for the Dow, fractional gain for the S&P 500, a loss for the NASDAQ. And a lot of this has to do with the 10-year yield rising. I explained this to you. There is a discounting mechanism built into the market with regard to tech. And when you see action like this, it puts pressure on tech stocks. Okay, so no surprise to you. With that said, 10-year yield 1.53. The dollar today, people, markedly stronger now. If you're paying attention to the MMRI, and I hope you are, we're gaining here, okay? Last I just checked, it was 90.4. What does this mean? Over 100, we're getting reasonably close here, is moderate risk. Right now, we still remain in a low risk, but the higher this number gets, the more we have to look out for things. Moving forward here. I still believe this indicator, this MMRI, available to you right now, right on my website, traderschoice.net. There's a link down here, is very valuable. So pay attention to it. You could watch it all day long if you want. It's again on my website there. It updates every 15 minutes. Okay, with that said, again, MMRI 90.4. Let's keep our eye on that. People, silver today got slammed, absolutely slammed, falling like 4%. It was up higher pre-market, and then it just cratered. Gold also falling under some pressure here. Cryptocurrencies flat to slightly lower, mostly lower here. Crude oil around 75 fell under a little pressure today as well. Again, and a lot of this is being reflected in that MMRI there. So let's focus on that. With that said, I want to talk about some of the goings on today and some pretty interesting words that came out of its mouth. It being Fed Chair Yellowstone Powell. You know, the guy is a criminal, okay? Him and his cohorts there at the Federal Reserve, insider trading, just a coincidence. He used that word. Can you believe that? Do you believe for one split second that it was a coincidence that he, Fed Chair Powell, is buying and holding the same assets that the Federal Reserve itself is buying? I don't think that's in any way, shape, or form a coincidence. But again, if you're a Fed president or a Fed chair, all you got to do is, I guess, be in that position and you're just fine. Two Fed presidents who were insider trading are now resigning with millions, hundreds of millions of dollars that they have gotten ill gains from insider trading. You or me, could you imagine what would happen to us? Could you imagine what would be happening to us in the Fed chair? The man's a criminal. The Federal Reserve itself is a crime syndicate of the highest order. But they're untouchable, these people. They're untouchable. Let me ask you, you believe in the system, those of you Democrats, Republicans, no matter whatever you may think you are or whatever they put you in, they put you there. And you remain there if you want to stay. But when is one of our representatives, a Democrat or a Republican, going to call these people to answer for what is going on? Oh, sure. They had a big shit show the other day before the Finance Committee. And what happened? Was anybody arrested? Did anybody get in trouble? Oh, no. We just found out that Rosengren and the other Kaplan, they're just going to resign. They're going to resign, and it's all good. People, it's a really twisted environment. Anyway, with regard to Powell today, I want to focus on a few things that he said. Number one, this is just today, he's blaming rising prices, and this is what he said, quote, on supply chain kinks. Now, if you recall, I told all of you at the onset of this, they were going to blame rising prices on supply chain issues. Look over there. Look over here. Don't look at what the Fed's doing, running their inflation creation machine at full speed with no end in sight, people. But no, make sure, you look over there. That's what they're trying to do. And this is the mainstream media. You're watching this shit today, excuse my language. You got CNBC, you got Bloomberg, supply chain. Oh, it's causing the rising prices. It's not the Federal Reserve. No. It really gets to me. And if I don't act like that from time to time, I think I'll end up in a loony bin. Maybe I should go check myself in. But that's Powell. Look over there. Kinks in the supply chain. That's causing rising prices. But then he goes on to say, now I want to read this. This is a quote. Powell is now saying he's calling the current pace of inflation, rising prices, frustrating. At first, if you recall, the man didn't care. He said, oh, it doesn't matter. Why? Because inflation is not widespread, but now it's frustrating. It's so frustrating, that the Fed is going to keep doing what they're doing. As a matter of fact, running that inflation creation machine, issuing debt, buying it back, issuing debt, buying it back. That's how frustrated he is, the multimillionaire. Okay? Now, he goes on to say, let me just clarify what we're talking about here. The man is not a human being. He's a thing. And he's a lying POS. You understand? We all know that. He tried desperately, him and his cohort criminals at the Fed have been trying to convince you and me since the onset that, this inflationary environment, it's transitory. Don't worry about it. I told all of you from the onset this was not transitory and it was going to persist. Well, guess what word was used today out of the mouth of Fed Chair Yellowstone Powell? He says he expects inflation to persist into 2022. Imagine how shocked I am. I know you must be flabbergasted. People, look, they think that you and I are mental midgets, that we cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. They don't think we can look at the current environment. We're not smart enough to look at the current environment and understand what's really going on. And then you got, the propaganda ministry here, I'm referring to Fox Business, CNBC, Bloomberg, and they're just sitting there reading their dog shit script, trying to convince the masses again that what they are seeing is not real. It's too much. It really, really is. Anyway, I don't know what to say anymore. Frustrating. He's calling this inflation frustrating. I'm calling him frustrating. What do you want to call? Let's see. Let's have a little fun here. If you want to say something to Powell, Yellowstone, the thing, the unhuman, lying, whatever he is over there, what is he to you? What's a good way to describe the Fed chairperson and maybe the Federal Reserve itself? And really, honestly, I am so fed up with the fact that we have no representation in this country whatsoever. We have president after president after president calling on the Federal Reserve to continue issuing more debt with no end in sight here. The last president too, the one before him, they just keep doing it. Okay, why? Well, because the Fed is the real government. Whoever sits there behind the Resolute desk, whatever it may look like, they're just a spokesperson to try to keep people in line and having some hope that maybe they're going to be saved. No, sorry. No. No one's going to do a damn thing about it. You understand? Nobody. The Fed is too powerful. It's all a game. It's all a game. And once you believe that and understand it, everything's going to become clear to you. It's absolutely, completely, totally out of control. Beyond belief, honestly. Anyway, I wrote down a bunch of things here. Some of it I scribbled down so fast I can't even read what I wrote here. But anyway, look, so in summary, what happened? We had a stock market today that was very volatile. Some of this is, in my view, getting reflected in the MMRI. People, keep your eyes on this thing. Stop listening to the naysayers out here. They don't even understand it, as a matter of fact. And that's okay too, because some people are severely learning impaired. and are trying to downplay this already without even knowing anything. It's too stupid in my view. But I know a lot of you are getting it, and I think this is valuable. I'm not asking for anything. I just want you to follow it. And I put it right here on my website for you. We're above 90, 90.4. We're still okay. We're in a low risk zone, but the high end of low risk going into moderate. So, let's look. We all understand that this thing around us is out of control. It's a hyper bubble, and there's going to be a terrible price to pay for it. And we're going to remain on the right side no matter what. And we got to use whatever tools we can to keep ourselves there. And I think this MMRI is a valuable tool for all of us to use. I'm using it myself. So that should tell you something, honestly. And again, you can follow it right on my website, traderschoice.net. People with gold and silver today, it's pretty freaking ugly. Not going to lie. With what's going on with the derivative. You have to understand what we're talking about. This is not real physical silver changing hands. You understand? It's not. This is the derivative that's getting pulled every way they want it to pull it. It's not real. But understanding, again, why we are holding these things. The game remains risk on, meaning equities. That's where cash is going to move to until it doesn't. Until it doesn't. And we have all kinds of things to look at to gauge what we should be doing. Like I always tell you, we got it covered from every angle. All right. I understand your frustration with metals. I hold a lot of this stuff too. So believe me, you're preaching to the choir here. But we're holding this stuff for when the risk on turns risk off. That's what we're doing. We're not trading this stuff. If you're trading the derivative, good for you. I don't touch it. And you're going to need a lot of luck. It's out of control. It's so rigged, the derivative market, when it comes to metals, that I don't even touch it myself. Forget about it. It's bizarre. And with cryptos, they're very volatile. You know that. I told you to expect some more pressure here. We got a little today. I think we could potentially see more pressure on cryptocurrencies, but that does not mean to me in any way, shape, or form that we should be dumping this stuff. You got to be nuts. You got to be nuts. You want to be in physical gold, physical silver, cryptocurrencies, in my view. You also want to be in this market in large cap, dividend paying stocks if you're going to hold them. If you're trading, you can trade anything you want. But if you're going to be holding them, that's what you should be doing, getting paid to hold and own the stock. Anyway, people, look, I got you covered. I really do. And we're going to get through all this like we always have and we always will. Okay? With that said, I am signing off. I will see all of you in the morning. And I want to hear from you. What do you think is going on right now with this freak show? With Fed Powell now saying inflation is obviously not transitory. It is persistent. It will continue to persist. He's trying to distract you. Look over there. It's supply chain kinks. It's kinks in the supply chain. It's not what the Fed's doing. No. It's not the fact that the Fed is buying more assets than they ever have in their history every day. No, that's not what it is. Oh, no. And again, not one single member of our corrupt government, I don't care how much you may believe in the Democratic, Republican dog shit system. If you believe in this system in any way, shape, or form, you are lost more than you could possibly know. It's not real either. It's all to keep you mind twisted and believing in a system that doesn't even exist anymore. Anyway, I'm out of here. See you in the morning. Love you a lot. Please share this video.